Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Recording this on the Monday, we are going to go through this week's fundamental analysis. I will also be going through my profitable trade on gold. I think I hit a 4R for that trade, and yeah, we're going to delve a little bit deeper into that trade. But let's just first start with this week's fundamentals. So this is the 17th of March to the 23rd of March. Just bearing in mind, guys, again, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research on the market and make your own informed decisions on where you're putting your money. So COT reporting, you guys can see we've got Aussie and dollar coming down 12% for both currencies. We've also got US 30 coming down, oil coming down, yen coming down slightly. A lot of more positioning into the euro, gold as well slightly, but just highlighting very bearish sentiment in both Aussie and the USD. So potential trades against the yen, we'll see. In terms of the data points, we had rates remain the same. For US, we had core retail sales being as expected but revised down from last month. And we had FOMC press conference. Overall was quite a hawkish statement. Powell did sort of harp on the fact that inflation remains somewhat elevated. The economy, he believes, is strong, and that tariffs are part of the story of inflation and uncertainty. So it looks like we, at least from the FOMC data, we probably will be keeping rates sort of at that 4.5%. And yeah, just something to note, especially with inflation cooling down. Aussie, we had labour market readings, which unemployment was the same, employment was less than expected, and also revised down from last month. So very, very bearish. It's actually flipped the script. I was quite bullish on Aussie, but now I'm quite bearish. So definitely something to take into consideration. Yen, we had policy rates remain the same, and we had CPI being hotter than expected. The Bank of Japan press conference was slightly hawkish. Ueda did advise that wage hike trend is in line with its outlook, and he believes that the yen is recovering. We've also got higher food prices as a result. And he also states that decision into rates will be considering domestic price, wage trends, and overseas uncertainty. So quite a ambiguous press conference. It's slightly hawkish for this one, just because of the economy recovering and food prices higher. Obviously CPI prints hot. Inflation sort of the story of rates just to keep inflation at its optimum. In terms of charting, we have retail sales. You can see it's coming back up from the negative from last month. We have employment change come down for Aussie in the last 3 months. Unemployment sort of hovering at that 4.1% and coming up in the last 4 months. So quite bearish on Aussie right now, to be honest with you, especially with that COT data. This week's data, again, just highlighting FOMC, dim view of the future of the US economy, with poor economic readings and Trump's tariffs causing uncertainty. Bank of Japan, again, that quote about decisions being reliant on domestic price, wage trends, overseas uncertainty, a more hawkish sentiment than anything. Next week's data, we have CPI for Aussie, we have GDP, final GDP for USD. Be interesting to see what that does to the markets. But in terms of my bias for the week, we're still very bullish on gold, still a lot of uncertainty, still have decreasing inflation, which is not good or bad for gold. That's what I read it as. bearish US economic data, which is really good, and tariffs, which is really good as well. Bearish US labor market, which is also really good. So we've got long trades available for gold. Silver, we had a bearish reading on silver. We had, sorry about that, guys. We had bearish reading for economic news, and we had a, one sec, I'm actually going to change this. We have bearish here, so bullish in terms of for silver. Bias is bullish, but I might say no trades. Just let's have a look at this COT data for silver. Okay, COT is supporting bearishness, but you know what? I'm going to keep long trades available. I think we're still fundamentally backed up. We have, you know, decreasing US inflation, which is good. We have bearish US economic, which could be good or bad, or it doesn't really, you know, affect things too much compared to gold. But we have bearish US labor market as well, which I've said is positive for silver. So yeah, we can definitely look to take silver trades if there's a nice technical setup. US 30, we had bearish on CO2 reporting on US 30. We have bearish USD news. My bias is overall bearish, which is good, but the only thing is that we've got decreasing US inflation, which is good for USD. So no trades. Plus there's other better trades available anyways. AU, both Aussie and USD is quite bearish, so quite neutral. They cancel each other out, no trades. Yen is slightly bearish as well now, so no trades on all currencies right now. So that's fundamentals done for the week.